Hello everyone, welcome back to aitech1.com. My name is Sumit and I'm thrilled to have you here for today's video. Before we dive into the main topic, if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our future content. In today's session, in today's video, we will be going to cover in-depth information about the repeater component in flows. So now let's jump into today's discussion. In today's video, the topic for today's video is that how do we use a repeater component in Salesforce flows? So before we get started, if you find value in today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who might also get benefit from it. Now let's get into it. So recently in spring 24 release, Salesforce has introduced a new repeater component in screen flows that allows the users to add multiple records dynamically. So this new screen component, it allows you to repeat a set of fields in a single screen element. Now we can add multiple records from one place without the need to navigate from the screen from one screen to another, or in order to add multiple records, we don't have to add multiple screens, or we don't have to put it in a loop. This will be a game changer in the customizations in working in that to add multiple records, to create multiple records. So for example, we can add multiple contacts, cases, or opportunities for an account, making the whole process easier and faster. So in today's video, I will be going to demonstrate you how can we use a repeater component widget on a Salesforce Lightning flow. So now let's jump into our Salesforce instance. So here is my Salesforce environment, and I'm going to create a flow here. So in order to do that, the very first step is I'll just search for flows, and we will be going to create a new flow. New flow, click on new flow. Here we have to create a screen flow because the component which we are talking about, that component will be available for the screen flow. So I click on screen flow, create, and we will be going to add one screen element. So I'll just add a new screen element and I label this as input screen. That's the screen element. And if there's a screen element, I just uncheck header. And for the footer also, I don't want pause and previous button. And for the custom label, I'll just label it as next. Next, in terms of when we click on next, it is going to save record or a commit records in the Salesforce object. So now here the requirement is we would like to add multiple accounts. I just want to add multiple account records. So let me open sales application, and in sales application, we got an account object. So I just want to add multiple accounts. So now it's time to add the repeater component here. And in order to add the repeater component, as you can see, display repeater beta. So I just drag and drop it. That's the repeater component. And I label this as account repeater. Account repeater. And in this account repeater, we have to add the components. But remember one thing, I just want to drag the text field. I just want to get input from user, let's say account name, and account name and date. Date field can be drag and drop. We can drag and drop. We can add email field. See, email field cannot be added into email field cannot be added in a repeater component. Okay, so the date field can be placed, but the email field cannot be added in a repeater component. Password field can be placed in a repeater component. And if we talk about the fields like slider cannot be added in a repeater component. So not every component can be placed in a repeater component. So here my requirement is I just wanted to add the account name. I just want to get account name and let's say phone number. So what about the phone number? For phone number, we have phone field. So I try to drag and drop the phone field in a repeater component, but I cannot add it. We can place it outside the repeater component, but not in a repeater component. So all these things we have to take care of. So a phone field cannot be added in a repeater component. So therefore, I'm going to create a new component name in the new component, a new account, basically new account record. And I would like to capture account name and their type. So type as a text only. So I just drag and drop as a text in order to see this. I can add two text fields. This text field, I label this as account name. That's a label account name, make it required. Second text field I set as account type. It's not a required, but if you want, we can set it as a required field. And also we can set a default value into this. So I'll leave it as it is. I did not set this as a required one. So our screen component is ready with a repeater component. That's all we have to do. But yes, once the component will, once we finalize this, once we save this, how it is going to add it. So we'll check that out. But first of all, let's save this flow. I'll just write here flow, let's say new account repeater flow. Save this and let me run it. I click on run. And when I click on run, the flow will open in a new tab, in a separate tab. And you can see we'll be getting an option here to add a new component, to add a new, in order to add a new account, we have to simply click on add. You can see we keep on adding like this. It keeps on adding. It keeps on getting new account names and types from the user. And finally, once we click on next on the on click on next, I would like to commit all the records or save all the records in an object. So we can remove this. We have an option. So the requirement is like this. For example, if I just write here test account, okay, what account do we have? Test account 6. So let's say I just want to add here test account 100 and just write, let's say account type as prospect and test account 101 and this also prospect. So the requirement is once I click on next, it should commit the record, it should save the record. So in order to save the record in Salesforce object, the records which we get input from the user using a repeater component, what we'll do now, we'll be going to iterate on the elements. So we'll be going to iterate on this repeater. So I'm going to put a loop here, loop, and I label this as iterate on repeater. And the collection variable will be account repeater, all items. And first to last. Save this and so we'll be going to iterate on that. And now it's time to add a create record element. So I will be going to add a create record element here and we'll be going to add new record. So I just write here add new, add account, add accounts. So I label this as add accounts. How many records to create? One record, separate resources. I just want to add a record into account object. And I would like to add name and type, account name and account type, and the value will be getting from the repeater, this repeater. Current item from loop iterate on repeater output. From here, I just map it with the name, and also I'll just map this with the account type. And finally, we will be going to save this. Now, once the record adds successfully, saved successfully, if you want to display any confirmation message, we can do that. Else, we can leave it as it is. Now, I'm going to debug it. I'm going to test it, whether this really get triggered or not. So I click on debug. And also, let me open the application once again. I basically have closed that. So let me open that application once again. And here I will be going to test it. So that's the flow. We'll be going to test this flow. And in order to do that, I'll just write here, let's say test account 100 and prospect add test account 101 prospect. Two records I'm going to add. And finally, when I click on next, you can see it iterates over on that and all done. The record created successfully. Let's go and check. So I click on account and I will be going to see test account 101, test account 100 and 101. So these two records added successfully. We can just go and check the type also, account type has been added successfully as prospect. So like this way, we can use the repeater component in order to add multiple records. without creating multiple systems. So that's all in this video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe the like button. You can post your comment in comment box. If you have any requirement on customized training on Salesforce, you can reach out to us. You can drop your email at the info@aitech1.com, or you can visit our website www.aitech1.com for more updates. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.